face on. All right, today in Least California, most of the world, it happens to be November 21st, 2023. That's 7 a.m. here in California. I know it's later for some of you and earlier for others. But I want to thank you for joining us today. As your interim Sergeant Arms, I want to remind you to mute yourself if you're not speaking. Mute your phone always during a meeting. Mute your kids, mute your goldfish, everybody else. And if you have to walk away from the screen, well, mute yourself and even shut your picture off. That's okay. But everyone who comes up here to speak deserves our best attention that we can give them. So let's do our best to smile, to pay attention, have fun, if nothing else. And with that being said, please help me welcome our president, like for the next 7, 8 months. Who knows? It could be another year and a half. We really don't know yet. But please help me welcome Eliza, the princess.
Thank you very much. A very good morning and good evening to everyone from all around the world. So today we are going to have a great dinner, turkey, during the autumn. That's what Annie told me. She will cook a pumpkin soup together with the turkey. But if you cannot see the turkey and the food because it's still inside the stove and Twila is not well, that's why nobody finished the cooking. But no problem, we already have it halfway. So let's do it. In few days, we can have the feast. Thank you very much for everyone, especially all the members for joining today. And thank you, Twila, even you are not really well, but you are still calm. Thank you, Vanessa, all the way. Where are you now? I'm not so sure. Hopefully you are in California, so it's not too early in the morning for you. Great to see everyone face here. So without further ado, let me call our pledge and mission, our Joel, to do the pledge and club mission. Joel, over to you.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow members, and guests. Let's put our hands together and pray for a wonderful meeting. Oh, Father God, allow us to learn from each other as we gather here this morning or this night to improve our abilities to communicate more effectively and build self-confidence, overcome fear. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Okay, next we have our Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like, if you're American, to stand up and Chief, you want to lead us?
Yes. Please place your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shell and Chief. And now let's continue with our meeting. And today we have our Toastmaster of the day all the way from Singapore. And she is none other than our member, Kathy Toast. So Kathy, please lead us and have a great meeting.
Thank you very much, President Eliza, and good morning, good day to everyone. My name is Kathy, and will be your Toastmaster for this day. Now, for today's meeting, we will have our usual educational moment, humorous, as well as speakers and our table topics. Now, let us kickstart with our educational moment. May I invite distinguished Toastmaster Yusuf Ferreira to share with us some educational moment. Yusuf, please.
He is not here.
Yes,
Yeah,
I believe
because
he
the
just
electricity
Yes.
disruption.
And that shows us the educational moment whereby as a Toastmaster of the day, you need to check if all your role holders are there before you call upon them. Now, since we don't have our educational moment sharer today, and I believe we have someone else here in mind, Yuni, would you like to take over as the educational moment?
Me?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Good morning, good evening. I would like to share with you about how to share story in your speech. If you want to share story in your speech, you can make it A, B, C. A, adjust it. If the story too long, just take the main purpose, the part that bring the message. Just leave it all the detail. B, use body language to deliver your story. Like when you walking, not use your hand like this walking, but use your feet to walk one side to another and make good use of the stage. C, use character. Like when a child, you can speak in one side as a child. I love it. Mommy, can I have brownie? And the other side, no, you will have dinner soon. You cannot have brownie now. Use character. It will be make the story alive. That's A, B, C, and D. D is use dialogue. Instead telling story about my father very angry when I have a low grade. You can use like, what are you doing? It's so loud. And sorry, Daddy. Use the dialogue to emphasize the story and capture the attention and more life of the story. So, dear friend, if you want to add your personal story, other story on your speech, remember A, B, C, D. A, adjust. B, use body language. C, use character. And D, use dialogue. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Inyati, for sharing with us the ABCD of storytelling, and that was some educational moment. Now, we'd like to invite our humorist of today to tell us a joke, and this will be none other than our Vice President Education, Ani Kusuma. Ani.
Thank you, Kathy. May I have the right to share my screen, please? Today I will not share a joke, I will share a poem. Okay, thank you. What I will share here is Fibonacci poem. I wrote a poem on a page, but then each line grew by the word sum of the previous two, until I started to worry at all these words coming with such frequency. Because as you can see, it can be easy to run out of space when poem got all the Fibonacci sequence. In case you have forgotten, this is the sequence of the Fibonacci: 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. So each number is the sum of the previous two. And the original and best poem was penned by Brian Wilson. You can find him here. You can write it and follow him to find out more about this poem. I think that's all from me. Thank you. Back to you, Kathy.
Thank you, Ani. No, I didn't know that maths can be part of a poem, and that's Fibonacci poem. Thank you very much for sharing others' tidbits. And next, I'd like to invite our art counter, who double up as a grammarian, to share with us the word of the day, and can invite the Crystal Master, Lai Kok Fo.
Okay. My duty as grammarian is to take note of the English that was used in our session today and so does the role as the accountant to take note of the post reader that are spoken throughout the session. Back to you, Kathy.
Thank you, Lai. And do we have a word for the day?
Yeah, it's grateful.
Grateful.
I will put in the
I'm
chat
very
box as
grateful
well.
for everyone for taking up the role, and especially next up, the role holder will be our timer who has stepped in to take over this role for the day, and that's Yuniati. Can you share with us the time sequence?
Yeah. For speech, 5 to 7 minutes. The light will be shown in green for 5 minutes, like in this green. And for second minute, yellow, and 7 minute red. From red, you still have 30 seconds to wrap up. For a table topic, the time will be 1 minute in green, 1.5 minutes in yellow, and 2 minutes in red. For evaluation, will be 1 minute, 2 minutes in green, 2.5 minutes in yellow, and 3 minutes in red. Thank you. Back to you, Kathy.
Thank you, Yuniati, for explaining us the role of the timer for today. And next, we'll have a prepared speech by one of our members. Now, he will be presenting Toastmasters Presentation Mastery Level 1, Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. Now, the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. May I invite his evaluator, Joseph, to share with us the project objective?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster. I appreciate you asking for me. The objective for Kirk right now, he's given this speech before, but he's involved in presentation mastery. And his introduction to vocal variety and body language. So work a little bit different. Right, his name's Kirk. We call him Chief. He lives in Monterey, California. He's been a volunteer for over 40 years of his life. Hard to believe because he doesn't look more than 40. So he's a retired American fighting man who enjoys golfing and self-improvement. His title today is Some Challenges Equals Rewards. Some Challenges Equals Rewards. Please help me welcome Kirk Johnson.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction. I'd like to welcome our members, our Toastmasters, and guests. My question is, how many of you have had training or practice either on the job or in an organization? I know Joe have because he's a military man. Please raise your hand. Well, one thing we got in common is Toastmasters is our common denominator. So we all dealt with challenges, but we also have rewards. Almost every job I've been on was entry-level job. And them jobs, of course, are starting from the beginning. In the military, it was definitely challenges, but rewards. I'll share my experience for an example of one of my challenges and rewards. In 1983, I reported to Army Aeronautical School in the good old Alabama of the USA. It was so hot and it was so sticky and it was just a miserable time to be in Alabama. I'm going to expand on the WOC-D program. WOC means W is for warrant, O is for officer, C is for candidate, and D is for destruction. Flight school have a high washout rate. 40 people will start a class and only 10 people will be able to graduate. That's the intent that they have in the training. We are up at 4 o'clock in the morning for physical training and tons of harassment. I use the word harassment the same way you use the word in college as hazing. We had 7 minutes to get out of bed, shave, and prepare an area for inspections. Then we had to be out in formation in front of the barracks to do PT and a 5-mile run. Then we had another 7 minutes to come back in and clean up, get dressed, and march to the mess hall. I was always in a leadership position, so I was always called on to give cadence as we marched. And one of the cadence I sang was, I went to the mess sergeant on my knees. I said, hey, mess sergeant, won't you please be pleased? The mess sergeant said with a big wide grin, if you want to be an aviator, you got to be thin. That kept us in pace on the way to and from the mess hall. The mess hall experience was the worst. Although it has been 40 years, I remember it distinctly. I will attempt to explain the dreadful square meals. We had to go to get our food, go to a table, and stand until the last candidate comes to the table. Then he had to give us, he stood up, the rest of us sit down, and he gave what we call the rights. I'm not gonna call it a graceful grace, but I'm gonna call it rights. And he would say, candidates, ensure your head is 10 inches from your chair. Candidates, ensure that your plate is centered. Candidates, ensure that your silverware is 3 inches from the plate. We, after his candidacy of speaking to us, he said, candidates, enjoy your meal. So we sit down, and when you're sitting at these tables, you have the tech officer looking at you because they're seeing what you're doing. So we can only look across to the candidate in front of us. With no eye movement at all, just straight ahead. And the square meal entitled that we have a fork, and you get your food without looking at it, pick it up, and then come back, put it in your mouth, put the fork back down in square form, take a napkin that's on your left knee and your right knee, dab and dab. Then you start chewing your food. Drinking water, but the same thing. You pull your water glass up, you do one gulp, put it back down, napkin, and swallow. But you're looking at your Adam's apple to see if you swallow, take more than what water you're supposed to be deserved. So it was always a challenge. While we was in the mess hall, Navy Blue Flight was our name of our squad. And we would try to do skits to please the TAC officers so they can give us a rights so we can eat in peace. The intermediate phase was more of studies and flight with no more square meals, thank God. The junior and senior phase was a lot of less harassment and tons of tests and flying. We really enjoyed that. You would think that graduating would be my reward. It wasn't my first. I figured out when I got to my duty station and months later that the square meal training promoted peripheral scan skills and working with measurements. These were very important things to do when you are flying an aircraft. Everything that we were taught prepared us for life and death situations. As we fly, we have to be conscious of other aircraft that can run into us or we can run into them. We would have a writing pad on our right knee and our maps on our left knees. We'll be in the aircraft by ourselves, and we got both hands working. The collective is up and down, and the cyclic is around this way. It was a challenging time but it was a rewarding time to be able to fly a multi-million-dollar aircraft. Being prepared was my reward. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much for sharing with us that journey and his training. Now, can everyone please take a minute to share with Chief your comments on the private chat?
I'm glad I don't have competition today because Twila always beat me out.
That's the lady.
Your turn, Chief.
Madam President, can I just confirm that we'll be going for table topics after this?
Yes, Kathy, we will go to table topic.
I see. Okay.
Time's up.
Thank you very much for sharing your comments with Chief. Next, we'll go on to our table topics. And today we have a very special guest to lead us in this session. And let us welcome distinguished Toastmaster Vanecca Phelps.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
I am so grateful to be here. So thank you for having me. I'm honored to be your table topics master for today, this evening. I love table topics. It gives everybody the opportunity. Yes, I said everybody, the opportunity to speak on their feet for just a little bit of time, 1 to 2 minutes. Our table topics theme today, of course, is around the holiday, Thanksgiving. My first question goes like this. If you could thank one person, living or dead, for his or her influence in your life, who would you thank? The question again. If you could thank one person, living or dead, for his or her influence in your life, who would you thank? Thank. I'm going to ask Twila to help us out with that question. Twila?
Who would I thank for this holiday? I would thank the farmer's wife because she helped me, the turkey, paint all my feathers white. So the farmer thinks I'm a chicken. So I went around the farmyard going cluck, 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 instead of gobble, gobble, gobble. And the farmer's wife is the one who found the white paint to paint me white. So I have a great debt of gratitude for the farmer's wife. And she served him squash casserole for dinner on Thanksgiving instead of bird. So sometimes when you're sitting at the table, look at the things on that table and who do you have to think for them? The little kid that picked all the broccoli or all the Brussels sprouts, or maybe the lady who made the sweet potato pie. Chief and I have already talked about sweet potato pie instead of pumpkin pie. But I'm almost entirely vegetables and fruit now. And my father was a turkey man. I had to chase a lot of turkeys when I was a kid to catch them for Thanksgiving dinner. So I understand why a turkey would paint his feathers white, so the farmer would think he was a chicken and not a turkey. Back to you, Vanessa.
Thank you, Twila. I love that. Let's all thank all farmers out there for the food that's going to be on our tables soon. My next question. What is one thing that you really appreciate about someone at this table. This is the Thanksgiving table. You could look at it like that. Look around the virtual table and think about it. What is one thing that you really appreciate about someone at this table? Eliza, you know the table pretty well. Can you help us out with that question?
Sorry, Vanessa, can you repeat because I just get my audio back.
Okay. The question is, what is one thing that you really appreciate about someone at this table? The South County Presenters Toastmasters table. It's a Thanksgiving table. One thing about one person at this table that you really appreciate.
Wow, this is going to be a very hard question. Thank you very much. Okay, if I only can choose one person or one thing at the table of South County, I would say family. Then I cannot say anyone because I tell everyone in South County as my family. Everybody is so unique. Everybody have their own meaning in my life. Twila is my mother. Joseph is like my brother. I love you so much. Kathy just like my sister. Arnie is like my armor. Uniati is just a great friend of mine. Mark, Chief, all of you are just dear to me. So if I need to choose one of you, I will choose myself because I cannot choose which one of you. Yeah, because maybe it's a bit different, but no, I cannot say in here. I love all of you with a different, because all of you have your uniqueness and each one of you have impact me in a different way. And I love all of you. And I'm very, very grateful to meet all of you in my life. So why I'm still here in South County? Because all of you are my family. All of you give me an impact in my life. And everything that happen in South County are one of the best thing in my Toastmaster journey. So for that, I really, really love all of you. And I cannot choose. With that, thank you very much. Back to you, Vanessa. I will give you a very big full table of this. I return this to you.
I love that answer. Thank you, Eliza. I can't name one person because you are all my family. That's great. My next question, what is your favorite part of Thanksgiving? Everybody has to have a favorite part of Thanksgiving, and it can't just be a day off. My next question is, what is your favorite part of Thanksgiving? Joel, are you out there?
Yes, I am.
What's your favorite part of Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving is the time where we need to be grateful for everyone that's around us in our lives. They've given us strength through the course of the year, through the course of time, if it's family like parents. But to me, the special person in my life was my late mother. She gave me everything outside of being my mother. She gave me birth. She brought me to this world, but she gave me the passion of love. That love is something that I miss. She's been gone to heaven now for 13 years, but I really appreciate all what she did for me. Especially, she taught me how to speak different multiple languages. I learned from her 5 different languages. We communicated predominantly in 3, but she taught me another 2 that I expanded on my own. There were some, which was French and Spanish. She didn't help me with that. But she gave me the blessing, the ability to communicate and learn into Toastmasters. She introduced me to Toastmasters, and that is something that I really appreciate. The love that she extended to me is something I can never forget, and I would appreciate it. But that's what Thanksgiving is all about. We need to be thankful to our Lord, our Savior, that's provided us a sense of happiness, joy in the course of the year. And that joy can come through people, by material things, and by music, and most strongly also by appreciating and doing good things for yourself, not to belittle yourself, but to acknowledge that you are great and you can become better. Back to you, Toastmaster, table topic master.
Thank you so much, Joel, for that heartfelt message. My next question: what is one unusual tradition or ritual you'd like to make a part of your Thanksgiving celebration? What is one unusual ritual or one unusual tradition? Maybe you already have one that you do on Thanksgiving. If you don't, what unusual tradition would you like to make as your part of Thanksgiving this year? Joseph, are you out there?
All right. Thank you so much, Madam Table Topics Master. I'm looking right now, sweet potato pie, Twila says we should bring it everywhere we go. I think there's something different. I think obviously a lot to be grateful for. We want our friends and family in all locations. And Vanessa, you and I both know our friends and family are all over the world. There's most of us here on this table right now. But what I like to do, and this is something a little different. I've never done it, but I've seen it before, like in the TV show. You go house to house. You start off for early, almost like we do at Christmas. You start grandma's house, and grandpa on the other side, and aunts and uncles, and move your way up. But how about if we do that Thanksgiving and hold a torch? And we have everyone on the timeline. And I could start off in this house, and then I run to Eliza's house and pass the torch, and then she has the holiday at her house, and then she grabs it and she passes the torch to Yusuf, and we have a party at his house, and then Twila's house, and back and forth. Now we can all plan it. A lot of block parties do this, where they'll go from house to house. What if we had a timeline? Obviously, it wouldn't work very well for us flying across the world to do so. But what if we had a timeline? At 10 o'clock, we're going to be there. 12 o'clock, we're going to be here. 2 o'clock, we're going to be somewhere else. And we all go, and we just carry the torch. So not everyone has to make a turkey. Well, everyone does have to make pie, don't get me wrong. But not everyone has to make cranberry sauce and all the other stuff. But if we just break it up, who's going to do what? And we just go house to house and make sure we don't miss football, because it has to go, between halftime or the quarter, so we don't miss too much football. But let's pass the torch as we go house to house to show the appreciation, and let's continuously follow that throughout the year to give gratefulness for one another, to show peace for one another, to show that we care and that we have love. So I think we need to pass the torch. We need to split up in timeline, and let's not miss all the pies, and let's not miss football. Back to you, man, Table Topics Master.
Okay, I think I got it. Let's keep the torch passed for a new Thanksgiving tradition. We have another question, and it is, if you could share Thanksgiving dinner with one famous person, who would that famous person be and why? If you could share Thanksgiving dinner with one famous person, who would that famous person be and why? Uniati?
Thank you.
Okay.
If I have opportunity to have dinner with a special one, I would like to have Wilbur Smith. He's an author from UK. He has write many fiction about pirate, about a family, and he make it so beautifully, so complex, the book is very thick, like 2 inch, 1.5 and 2 inch novel, a fiction, but the story is so captivating. I just want to talk with him. How he did that? How he able to make a mysterious, fascinating story about war, pirate, family drama, and royal, a lot of stuff packed in book after book after book, and it's interconnected. Even though he didn't write it down in order. He make a different story in a different timeline. It's so interesting, and I would love learn from him how he developed the story, how he make the character so captivating, and all the drama. It's how wonderfully his mind is working. So that's what I would love to learn for some good uh, writer. So one day I hope I can be a writer too. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmasters.
Thank you, Uni. Thank you very much. Madam Toastmaster, do we have time for one or two more?
Sorry. Madam.
Yes, I believe we have
Topic
time for one
Masters.
more.
Great. How about Alphen? Are you out there?
Hello.
Hi. Hi, Alphen. What does the term give thanks mean to you? What does the term give thanks mean to you?
Give thanks mean to me as appreciation. I think this is one of the most powerful words that we can share to others. Just one word, thank you. I become Toastmaster members for 2 years, and I learned that saying thank you is one of most expensive words in my term as a VPE, because I invite people to take roles in my club, and for the first time I forget to say thank you. I just, when they come, then just let them go. And then after that, I feel struggle again to find role takers for the next week. But after I say thank you for coming, thank you for having us, to everyone, I think because of that, I feel the impact that they feel appreciated, and most of the time they will come again. So fellow Toastmasters, don't take for granted everyone that helps you. Don't forget to say thank you. I believe most of people consider that just a small talk, but believe me, the cheap words is very meaningful for me. If someone say thank you for me, I appreciate that a lot. Even though I say that, no lah, it's okay lah, but I feel appreciate enough just by thank you. So we don't need gift, we don't need money, we only need appreciation and just thank you. So thank you, Peps.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Madam Timer, can we have times on all of our topic contestants? We had Twila, we had Eliza, we had Joel, we had Joseph, we had Uni, and we had Alphen.
I'm grateful to report to you that all the speakers are qualified. All within time limits, within 1 and 2 and 10 seconds, all qualified. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
That's wonderful. Are we voting for the best table topics person? Who do those votes go to?
To
Okay.
Madam Toastmaster.
Okay, you can send them to me.
All right, we'll take a minute to send our votes to Vanessa for the best table topic speaker for this today. And if you have any comments for any of our table topic speakers, please do share your comments to them directly. All right, next I'd like to call upon our general evaluator to lead the next segment on the evaluations and the reports from all our role holders. Can I invite our general evaluator, Twila, to lead the session?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow members and guests. The third part of the meeting is the general evaluation that was going to reflect on how we performed, how we were able to meet and exceed the Toastmaster spirit of the meeting. The meeting started on time, and here is my first speaker's evaluator, Joseph, who's going to be evaluating Chief. Take it away, Joseph.
Thank you so much, Joel. I'm grateful that I'm able to evaluate Chief. It's very interesting how he brought up, and he should have, the art of the military. And a few of us have been in the military. We know some of the challenges, and I think we're all excited. At least I was talking about how we ate back then. Well, he started off the meeting very well. He stood up. I don't know if you noticed that right away. He didn't get up during the speech. He was ready. He was on deck, we would call. He was ready. He stood up. Problem is, you stood up. Your eyes stood up too. It took you about 3 minutes before you looked at us. You were looking up, and I know you're like, I remember back in the times. They have to play with it sometimes. Oh, if you could only have been there. But a lot of times you were looking up. And the whole point of this was, what was the body language, vocal variety and body language. Now you held your hands good when you did the square meal. I think we all saw that, understand that. You pick up your spoon, you eat it, put it down, look straight forward. You did all that very well. That brought back some painful memories, but you tied it into something good. We learn how to follow orders. We learn how to, working on a plane or flying a plane, making sure no one got hurt. Those things are really important to us. You mentioned WOCD, well, warrant, officer, destruction, but I didn't get the C part. Was that commission? I didn't know what the C stood for.
It's candidate.
Candidate. See, in the Air Force, it would be Officer Training School or OCS, but this is Warrant Officer Training School or Candidate School. And I didn't quite get that. Would have been nice to go back and repeat that. I just want to think in your mind, WOCD. I think that's a psychological problem, isn't it? Or is that OCD? A little bit confusing there. But you mentioned that, and you brought up a good point. We have 40 candidates, yet only 10 will graduate. That would have been good time to emphasize. Yeah, we have 40 graduates or 40 people in almost every class. But listen, only 1/4, only 10 will actually graduate. I think if you slow down and put a little emphasis on that, people are like, oh, wow, I guess that is kind of a big deal. So that was good. You looked ahead, talking about less harassment as you make it through the school. You're able to think for yourself a little bit. I love it. You got you're mapping yourself on each different leg, just like you did your napkins without looking down. Those are really good. To talk about working with measurements and life and death training. But here's one thing, and I think you can agree with me. What was your takeaway? You didn't quite have a takeaway. You had a conclusion. And what was that conclusion? Being prepared is my reward. Obviously, you need a little more preparation to make sure we finished on time and have that takeaway. Being prepared, because being prepared It was abrupt ending. All being prepared is my mission, and that was it. And I was looking at the timer, but obviously it was red, so you abruptly did that. If we practice enough, when we prepare enough, we can know, when we see the yellow, it's time to slow down. Okay, let me just wrap up a couple things now, so when it's red, I'm there. And sometimes that's leaving out something. Unfortunately, a lot of us will just keep talking and talking and talking and go over time. You abruptly stop. But it's so important when we have a speech, especially something like this, to have that takeaway. And like I said, if you have something to be grateful for, or military or some other organization, and mine was WOCD, being prepared, and here's some of the training I had to do to become prepared, and leaving an emphasis where we have to. 40 join, but only 10 will make it. Could have went a little bit longer way with that, but you stood up. Your eyes were too high for the good first couple of minutes, but then you started looking down to us. Maybe when you looked down to us, you saw the clock. Oh, I got to zip it. I got to zip it. But if you had a better takeaway and repeat what the initials stood for, that would have went a long way for me to remember and be able to write it down. Well, good job, Chief. And you did a lot of hand holding. When you had something to do with your hands, was great, like this, or looking up, or looking down. But when you had nothing to do with your hands, you're looking for something to do, and you're holding them. And a lot of us go through that. But you being able to stand up, we were able to see the whole picture, so it wasn't fake below the screen, and I deeply appreciate that. With that being said, back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you for a wonderful evaluation for Chief. You covered the areas very well. You gave him areas where he could improve, where he could expand and make the speech better. And you also acknowledged where he was strong and that the fact that he stood up. So this is a very powerful evaluation that the speaker can take nuggets and apply it into his growth as he grows in his Toastmaster adventure. Next, we didn't have the second speaker and the second evaluator. So now I'm going to go into the table topics. I'm going to give a little evaluation of the table topics. The table topics had a good theme. It had the theme of Thanksgiving, and it focused on the thanks part of it, of how we were blessed and how we are to be grateful. But we could have added a little bit. We could have added the fact that it's centered around on a Thursday and we have a day of rest the following day. And that we go ballistic on eating turkey. We eat more turkey on Thanksgiving because many people are not from the United States, so they don't understand. We consume 80% of our turkey in one weekend, and that's in the course of Thanksgiving. And how much we consume was something we could have also expressed out. There are other ways of expressing thanks outside of turkey. Canada and United States use turkey to express their thanks. But in Thailand, where I am right now, the thanks is done because the harvest is good, and we make a banana leaf flotola, and we float it on the full moon, which the various, because of the lunar calendar, changes. It's on the 27th of November. So it's not a fixed date, whereas in the United States, Thanksgiving always happens on a Thursday, and we have a day of rest because we eat to the point where we're really huge and we just want to sleep the next day or go shopping because that's the beginning of the shopping season. So with that little addition, we could have twisted it around to make it a global entourage. But nonetheless, the table topics were done well. Uniladi, how was Chief's timing for his speech?
His timing is perfect. It's 7 minutes, 18 seconds.
Okay, so
And
that thank you for your timer's report. We already heard for the table topics. So we had a good table topic session, and we covered all the areas. We had the word of the good day, grateful, was used several times by different members, which was good. And we're not going to be having the best evaluator nor the best speaker because we had only one. So we need to have at least two to be able to vote for the best. So you, by default, Chief, got the best speaker, and by default, Joseph, you got the best evaluator because there was only one. Great job. Now, with that, I'd like to return the control back to the Toastmaster of the day, and that goes to Kathy.
Point
Thank
of
you very
order.
much, Joe. Can I invite Mai to share with us the counter report and the Gamera report?
Sure, Kathy. Here's my counter report. For Unity, she has to repeated words he and that. For Joseph, repeated words gotta. Chief, repeated words that. For the word of the day, it was being used by Katie, Eliza, Joel, Joseph. For the English part, I have noted a few words we can improve, which is not finished cooking. I would like to suggest still in the middle of preparations. Share a story. Just a missing words. Share a story. Write, written. Write is a present tense. Written is past tense. For the beautiful phrase, I have noted down 4. Everything we were taught is a preparation for our life and that situation by Chief and another by him. It was a challenging time. It's also a rewarding time. Thanks the farmer for all the foods on our table by Vanessa. She gave me the passion of life by Joel. And the last one, don't forget to say thank you by Elfin. Back to you, Katie.
Thank you very much, Lai. Now, before I give the final statements, can I invite everyone to turn on your screen, and we will have a photo taking before any of us drop off again due to electricity problems. Joseph, can I invite you to help us take the photos?
I can do it on. Let's start with 3. Elfin, come on there. Twila, if you can. Anyways,
Yes.
4, 3, 2. Give us your best smile. 1. Kathy, you turn your head. All right. We're looking excited. I'm sure the best table topics person will smile too.
Thank you. Now, today's meeting, we are very grateful because even though there are some minor changes along the way, we have members who take up the roles and very sportingly give very good remarks and comments and give us educational moments which we have all would be very grateful of. And with that, can I invite our table topic master to share with us the result for the best table topic speaker?
Yes, thank you very much, Kathy. Our best table topic, I have to say this, most everybody got 1 vote, but the best table topics master goes to Twila with Let Them Eat Pie, sweet potato pie.
Congratulations, Twila. And that, I'd like to hand over the control back to our Madam President, Eliza.
Thank you very much, Kathy, and thank you very much everyone who willing to take the role, especially the one that really jumped to take the roles last minute. I really appreciate every one of you, and thank you very much. Congratulations to Chief also. I was spying during her meeting with the VP. So it was a great time that everyone actually helping each other in this South County. So I really appreciate all of you. And thank you very much for standing and always be there for each other. And during this Thanksgiving, I just want to say I wish that everyone and every one of us will have a better. I'm not sure actually what is a Thanksgiving, but I just grateful for everything that all of you give to each other in this Toastmaster in the South County especially. And I hope that we will be a better in the next term and also be more close as a family and friends and support each other. That's what I hope for everyone. And good luck for the next journey. With that, I want to ask for the next meeting. Actually, Arnie is planning for a holiday for South County for the December because many of us will be traveling. And also we are going to have a celebration also for New Year. And by the way, on the 26th is going to be 25th will be we are not going to have a meeting 26th December because it's a Christmas. So we are going to have a celebration on the 19th if everyone okay. Just have a holiday trip before we go for a long holiday. Then, yeah, that's all. Is that okay for everyone? Yeah, because Arnie also need holiday. Then after that, for next week, we are going to resume our meeting on the 28th. Who wants to be a speaker and who wants to take a role for next week?
Liza, since Twila cannot make it today as a speaker, Twila, may I put you for next week as first speaker and Uniati as your evaluator?
If I'm well, I will. I hope to be back by then.
Thank you. Speedy recovery, Twila.
Then anyone who wants to finish their pathway or project in this 2023, finish your level 1, level 2, level 3, and submit your education.
Eliza,
Yes.
Eliza, did everyone get the note that you need to check and make sure you know what all your educationals are? Because the first of the year, Toastmasters is going to change their computer system and you don't want them to lose your record. So make sure that you check and make sure you know about all your educationals and what you have.
Yes. Checking for everyone. And for South County, if you have a problem or you need to know something, maybe you can go for Arnie. But I believe that everyone already know about that. Chief, if you want to, I think we are already only start with the new pathway is only for Chief and the rest is, I think everyone is an area director.
I could give a speech if you wanna.
Sure, Joel. Thank you. So Joel and Twila, I think I will be the Toastmaster of the day. And anybody want to take? Kathy want to give a table topic?
I may not be able to attend for next week because I have another in-person meeting.
Oh, okay. It's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I
Chief,
can do
do you want
table
to?
topics. I can do table
Okay,
topics.
cool. Joseph will be table topic. Who wants to be a Toastmaster?
Sorry, excuse me, sorry. Tamami is the table topic master.
Oh,
Sorry, I forgot to announce.
Okay.
Joel,
Then
would you like?
I'll be the grammarian then.
Grammarian, okay.
okay. Then next, we already have a who wants to be an evaluator. I think Chief, you can be the evaluator, and I will evaluate your evaluation, so you can finish your level 1.
All right. Evaluate one of the speakers.
Yes, you are evaluate Joel, and I will evaluate your evaluation as part of the criteria for the level 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Arnie.
Okay.
Cool. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank
Alvin, do you want to take something? Education moment or anything?
Would you like to share some joke, Alvin?
I don't have joke.
Educational moment. Educational moment.
Education how to be a good husband.
Huh?
Alvin,
Okay.
confirm you are giving educational moment.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, I adjourn the meeting. Have a great time, everyone. And is it start snowing there? Not right. Not the time yet. Or is it the time?
California.
Okay, by the way, here is start training. So everyone, please take care of yourself. Sleep a lot, drink a lot, don't play outside the house a lot.